Welcome back, everybody. Joe here with 360 Comics. Over the weekend, I participated in my first ever flea market as a seller, obviously, of comic books, and I wanted to share that experience with you guys and kind of give you some tips and tricks and what I learned and some mistakes that I made that I know not to do again next time. If you like informative content like this, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, give us a thumbs up for the like, and leave a comment below. Maybe give me some tips that I can use in the future. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and look out for our 5,000 follower giveaway. And also, enter our origin story giveaway here on YouTube. I'll be picking a winner this Thursday. I'm going to put the link in the description so you can enter if you haven't yet. So I had an absolutely hectic, crazy, busy, but also exciting, fun, wonderful weekend that was just jam-packed with comics. Friday night, I had a live sale on my Instagram. Love doing those. I've been doing them a bunch recently, almost every Friday night for the past month or two. Then Saturday, I did this flea market that we're going to be talking about today. When I got home from the flea market, I had a friend call me and say, hey, you want to come to Baltimore Comic Con tomorrow? We need help at the booth. You need help, packing up at the end of the day. And I was like, all right, yeah, sure. I got a ride both ways, and I got in for free, so it was just kind of the perfect cap off to my weekend of insane comic stuff. And I got to hold some incredible books that I'll be posting on my Instagram, so look out for that. But let's rewind to Saturday. We're talking about a flea market, and this flea market was just a really good opportunity for me to try my hand at selling comics in that way, in a in-person live setting, which I have never really done. Every time I've sold books over the years, it's either been to comic stores or to people that I know, until I started this YouTube channel and Instagram and started selling live on Instagram. And this was my first in-person thing, given we've been in a pandemic for the last year. So the place that was having the flea market was actually a pet store, and they have a very large parking lot. They sectioned off part of the parking lot and had some vendors set up. And this was to attract people because they were doing an animal adoption event. And I thought that was a great cause as well. I was really happy to, participate in that and be able to, help out some animals that didn't have homes. So hopefully some got adopted during the day, and everything that was there was kind of what you expect from a flea market. There was a woman selling jewelry next to me, and on the other side of me there was a guy selling some handmade benches and stools and things like that. Really good variety. There was a guy that had 3D printed figures for tabletop games, Dungeons & Dragons, stuff like that. I thought that was awesome, and I talked with him a bunch during the day. We were kind of the only two, nerd hobbyists there as far as the different vendors, but I had a good time, and I met some cool people, and I learned some things, and I definitely made some mistakes, so I'm going to share all of that with you. The first thing I did to prepare for all of this was figure out what I wanted to sell and what I wanted to bring with me. Now, I figured there weren't going to be, big comic collectors there. There weren't going to be, people that are really enthused with the community and everything. It was probably going to be some people that just happen to be stopping by. Oh, I like the Marvel movies. Maybe let me pick up a book, or oh, I really love the Batman movies. I'm gonna grab something like that. So, I figured the lower value stuff would be better for a flea market. And, if you've been to a flea market before, it's generally kind of that lower value. So I decided to have a dollar bin, a couple of $3 bins with the bigger name titles that people really like, and a $5 bin as well. And that was the main chunk of what I brought with me. I did bring some higher end stuff, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So my dollar bin, $3 bin, and $5 bin all had a deal on them that was, or two deals rather, buy 5, get 1 free, so 6 for the price of 5, or 13 for the price of 10, buy 10, get 3 free. I've seen the exact numbers used before, and honestly, I have bought from those dealers, particularly because, in larger quantities, you get a better deal, and that can, help you come out on top, and I was trying to get rid of a bunch of stuff. So those were my kind of my main chunk of things, and I made sure to have a good spread within them of DC, Marvel, Indie. Obviously, with my stuff, since I'm a Marvel guy, there was more Marvel than anything else, but I think that I got a pretty good spread. And different characters as well. I didn't want like all the DC to be Batman, so I had Green Lantern, I had Flash, the bigger name characters, the ones that people that are not avidly into comics probably know and have seen and may be interested in. So getting that good mix was good. My one thing that I didn't do that I really want to make sure I didn't, honestly, the only reason I didn't do this is because I ran out of time. I wanted to organize it a little bit better. I had it, by the end, I had it kind of organized by publisher, but I also, within the publisher groups, wanted to organize alphabetically, and I did not get a chance to do that, or at least group the characters together, within the same title. I did not have a chance to do that. Like I said, this was a crazy busy weekend, but for next time, I'm definitely going to do so. So I had the $1 bin, the couple $3 bins, and the $5 bins. I also had some complete sets of books. Generally low value miniseries. I did end up selling one of them, which was great. It was the 8-book Ragman run from either the late 80s or early 90s. I had it for $25, so that's about $3 a book. And somebody picked that up from me, and I was excited to sell that because I actually had 2 copies of it. Selling that one is good because I still have one as far as my inventory goes. That was in the next section of my table. So I had my bins, I had that section, and then the final area was the higher end books. And I did this more to just kind of have something for people to look at that might be interesting to them. To catch their eye, rather than actually try to sell it. I didn't think that I was going to sell my Black Panther 1 in a 9.0. That slab was more there to get people's attention and to get them interested and just to bring up the topic of talking about comics and things like that. Most people do know who Black Panther is because of his prominence in the MCU and how popular that character's gotten in the last few years. But most of the people at this event aren't going to buy a $250, $300 slab like that. So I did have a couple lower end slabs that were between $50 and $100 that I brought with me. But again, didn't expect them to sell, but just in case someone wanted a really cool, talking piece or anything like that, or if a more serious collector came along, I figured that would be some good things to have. So I think I brought about 15 to 20 slabs, like I said, ranging from $50 to $300, nothing super high end and nothing crazy. And then I also had a box of books on that same table that was kind of comics in the above $5 range. Since I had a $5 bin, it was mostly books that were like $10 to $20. Again, nothing crazy. There were a few books that were probably like 30 or 40, but nothing crazy, just stuff that maybe someone would be interested in, but more of a talking point, more getting people interested in the aspect of collecting comics and the value of comics. And having those higher value things really did it a lot for me because it got people talking to me, and even people that really had no interest in buying comics and didn't buy any, it was still great to talk with them. And one of the best things that came of this weekend was getting followers on the YouTube page. This YouTube page right here, or subscribers rather. I think I got about 10 people just from having my little sign up saying, subscribe on YouTube and mentioning it while talking with them. I got about 10 people or so to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to grow this channel and grow the community we have here. So I really liked that as an aspect of the week. Just kind of talking with people, getting to know people, and you never know. Maybe some of those people will never watch. Maybe some of those people will watch. And if you're watching now, let me know in the comments below if you're someone who came up to me at the yard sale. And, maybe some of the people that watch will kind of get into the hobby a little bit more, whether it's reading, collecting, anything like that. That was a really great part. I did not sell a lot. I sold, I think my total was $87 worth of stuff. And I was there for a couple hours. So it wasn't a lucrative day in that sense, but it was enjoyable. And the one thing that was the best part about the whole experience, which I'm really hoping comes to fruition, 3 different people told me that they have comics at home or in storage that they're interested in selling. And I specifically had on my sign, buy/sell comics. And, I figured it might be a good way to get some leads on a collection, or if someone just had a few books or something like that. One woman mentioned that she had her children's old books that they didn't want anymore, and she was local and willing to sell. Another guy said he had his grandfather's comics. That's always good, hearing that they're probably older. You never know what's in there. And then I had a third person that mentioned that I believe they said they worked at 2 different comic stores, earlier in their life, and they wanted to get rid of some of the stuff they had in storage. They said they still collect and wanted to pull some things out, but they were willing to get rid of the bulk of it. So I have not heard from either of those 3 people, and that's where I made a mistake. And this is another thing to learn from. I gave them my number instead of taking their number, which, I had a pen and paper there. I wrote it down. I gave it to them. I didn't even think, and I realized afterwards, I should have asked for their number so I can be the one reaching out rather than hoping that they reach out to me. So next time, I know for that, definitely get their number, and I suggest you guys do the same. But overall, I spent a couple hours there. I got some subscribers on YouTube. I sold almost $100 worth of stuff. That was kind of my goal. Sell $100 worth of, $1, $3, $5 books. And I may have gotten some leads on some collections. So I think overall, I enjoyed the experience. I wish I had sold a little bit more. But the turnout wasn't super great because it had been raining in the morning. Luckily, it cleared up and it was not an issue. But I think that had something to do with it. I definitely will do a flea market like this again. Probably will do one that I know is going to have more collectible kind of nerd hobby people at it, just because there's going to be more people there for that would be purchasers of purchasers of comics. I've got work in my head right now. Because it's Monday morning. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little synopsis of my weekend and these tips. If you have any thoughts on it, or any ideas or suggestions or anything like that, please put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear some ideas, and I'd like to do this more often. So any way to improve would be very appreciated. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like the video and leave a comment below on your way out. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and do so if that's something that you want to do. And until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.